He has got his latest mock draft 2.0 up on ESPN Plus right now, projecting trades for the first time ever, and this is how he sees it going. Again, a trade right up near the top, with the Falcons moving up a few spots with the Jets to take Zach Wilson, the quarterback, and then you see the other quarterbacks in there with Justin Fields at 7, Mac Jones at 8, and Trey Lance at 9. The ones that are highlighted are the ones that we see in the form of trades. So Mel, I want to come back to you and the whole group here, and let's sort of pin down one point. And let's use two quarterbacks in this draft as an example. Mac Jones and Justin Fields. They played each other in the national championship game, so we all got to see them. Justin Fields, it feels like, is what the NFL is becoming. He's the dynamic threat. He can run. He can do all those different things. Mac Jones is what the NFL was 20 years ago. How important is that? As teams are making their evaluations right now, how important a factor is that in where these guys are going to get drafted now and into the future?
Yeah, the dual threat quarterback is obviously what you want, Greeny. And people forget how great Justin Fields was in 2019 in a normal year. Okay, Olave broke that route off. It was an interception in the end zone. It wasn't on Fields. Okay, you think about this year. He didn't have Olave against Northwestern. He did struggled against Indiana, but it was an interrupted season, anything but a normal season. Played great against Trevor Lawrence in that semifinal game. So I think when you look back at 2019, people just don't realize how special Justin Fields was. He's going to run probably 4.4, 4.45. He's got all the tools, all the ability you want. He's a tremendous competitor, loves the game, studies the game. So this notion that Justin Fields is somewhere in the late first, early second round of people say, well, he didn't play like a first rounder, he's overrated. Go back, look at 2019, and you will see a guy should have been in line to maybe be the #1 pick overall. He's right there with Trevor coming out of high school. Even in going into this year was kind of 1 and 1A. Justin Fields, because of what happened this year, hasn't dropped all the way down like some people may lead you to believe.
Talk about him, Danny, because he's a fascinating one. I agree. He's one who began the season maybe competing for the #1 pick, and now we see where he falls.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what Mel coming on shows because we could break stupid narratives. So a lot of the things that have been said about Justin Fields is like really struggles to process. No, he doesn't, guys. Watch tape. Okay, the biggest jump that he's going to have to take from college to the NFL is covered in college. Guys that are covered in college are guys that are open. He's going to have to build the comfort level of going, okay, that guy's covered in college, but shoot, that 1 foot of separation is wide open in the NFL. And so having the confidence of letting the ball go on a consistent basis in that realm is where he's going to have to make that jump. But we're talking about a guy that is exactly, I mean, if you're talking about all the traits physically and mentally that you want in a quarterback, Justin Fields has that. The only thing that I would say is he's deliberate. He's very deliberate with his feet, with his thought process, with his eyes, where he wants to go with the football. That will get sped up when he gets to the NFL. But the biggest development that he's going to have to make is realizing, okay, that guy that I didn't want to throw in college because he was covered, I have to because it's the NFL. And if you think he can get there, he's got all the talent in the world to be a stud at the position.
Now, Chris Canty, you made your living making life miserable for guys like those. How important a factor is that mobility in pro football circa 2021?
Well, it's huge. I mean, this is the thing. You don't want to prepare for a quarterback that can use his legs to get out of trouble because he can extend it down. He can put pressure on the defense in ways that a pure pocket passer can't. But to Dan's point, with Justin Fields, it's going to come down to, can he throw with anticipation in the NFL? You can't wait until you see it and then execute the throw. You've got to be able to throw with the anticipation that the scheme is going to create that void in order to hit your receiver. So I think that's one of the things that we have to watch for with Justin Fields.
Meantime, Diana, let me come to you on another one of these picks. Well, go ahead.
Now, what I want to say is to Chris's point with Dan was saying, you got to throw in anticipation. He has to see guys open. I heard the same thing about Josh Allen. I heard the same thing about Justin Herbert. It's a scout's job to project. Right. So scouts are critiquing Fields on what they should be doing and they're not doing. If they got to see it, then they're not a scout that I want. And they got to scout with anticipation. They got to project what a player will be. They didn't do it with Josh Allen, because I heard the same criticism. They didn't do it with Justin. Oh, Tua's more NFL ready. Tua throws with better anticipation. Sam Darnold, the great one now, right? Everybody hates Sam Darnold. He threw with better anticipation. He was better than Josh Allen, who everybody was hating on at this same stage of that draft process. So I heard it with Josh, Justin, and now Justin. What's it with the J's? Josh, Justin, and now Justin. Nobody seems to like coming through the draft process because they don't throw with anticipation. Scout with anticipation. That might help these guys make better decisions long term.
Find yourself someone who cares about their job the way Mel Kiper Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.